How we're doing? Okay, cool. Roll call. Ivan Avilas, what up? Angel So Crazy, Fitzgerald Rios, all some usual characters. Colin Powell, Chris Velasco. Nice. Cool. Everybody's doing good. Hello, hello. Surviving the lockdown. Good. Colin still got work. My man Colin. Stoked for you, brother. I know you've had a couple of bumpy patches lately, so stoked you're doing well. And yeah. All right, cool. So, like I said, welcome to another live edition making you a bartending pro. My name is Jason. My man Shake is in the house somewhere. I know, helping moderate. Cheers, y'all. Tank. And this is almost the new bar. So put a nice little wood panel back here. Hopefully you guys like all this stuff that I have put in, all this hard work for you. It's all for you. Yeah. Chris Velasco, like the wood backdrop. Thank you very much. Stoked. Ivan, need help with the projector, Professor? No, not yet, but we will soon. Well, someday. Colin Powell, good to see you too. Oh, you guys are talking to each other, gotcha. Working the job at the grocery store. Yeah, any jobs right now, man. Woo. So, let's turn this down for a second. Let's get real for a minute. The whole world is gone goddamn crazy with the coronavirus stuff. Now, I know this is a little bit divisive, and some people have their opinions about the severity of this whole situation, and I'm not going to get into the politics of any of it. I do know a friend of mine that has gotten this, and she's a young girl, 27, I believe, who's in this town, who's a very healthy, active exerciser, eats healthy, you know, she's like a model, and is got sick, and this thing kicked her fucking ass. So be careful out there, you guys. Take caution. This is not just a flu, and it's definitely not just a cold. So you'll most likely survive if you get it, but it's really gonna fucking suck for a while. So you don't want to get this shit. And if you give it to like your grandma, then that could be really bad. So anyway, that's all I'll say about that. However, yes, what is this? I want to get this name right. Duke and Daisy, one Duke. Duke and Daisy, one Duke. C19, my bar, or got my, C19, code 19, got it. Got my bar closed for 2 weeks. Ivan said, got 4 job offers this week. Really cheered me up. Nice, Ivan, good job. Put that whole island on shutdown. Oh, then they put the whole island on shutdown. Yeah, I think, Ivan, are you down in Puerto Rico, right? Yeah, Ivan's in Puerto Rico. So there's not a whole lot of places in the world, if there is any, that are not being touched by this. And the thing about, you know, in times like this, it makes it seem kind of, it's not trivial, right? Because it's important, but it's like me teaching people about bartending. It puts into context in retrospect when you're looking at everything else that's happening around the world. But it's very also important because there's a lot of you guys that are potentially getting laid off right now, or you're maybe not working for a few weeks. So if you're working and you have a job, I know some people that are just getting straight pink slipped, right? They're just getting fired, not necessarily in the service industry. I know a lot of the service industry, restaurants and bars, are really concerned about you guys. And so I don't think anybody's just, hopefully not just gonna get blatantly fired. But there is a good chance that a lot of us and a lot of you guys are not gonna be working very much right now. So I wish I had really good advice that I could tell you, like, do this and you'll definitely be fine for now. Unfortunately, this is kind of a situation where it's out of our hands and it's in the hands of our government, and hopefully they can make the right calls and do the right things and keep us all out of trouble and get us through this whole mess as fast as possible. I personally, because like I said, my full-time job now is a marketing guy for a cannabis company up here in Oregon, and one of my main jobs is communication internally and externally for our company. And so I'm constantly glued to updates and news reports and what's happening. And I do know that as of right now, our government is working on a solution to hopefully send us some dollars in the mail. So they're going to try to, hopefully going to straight up send us some checks in the mail in the next few weeks that should buy us some time. And hopefully things won't get too much worse. And hopefully a lot of you guys are not out of work for too long, if you are at all. Obviously, and I'll get to all you guys' questions, I just want to, while I have this train of thought going, obviously this is going to be a difficult time to try to go find work, because a lot of places are just going to be closing either voluntarily or mandatory, as you know, because the government's going to basically tell everybody to shut down. But it's one of those situations where if you're going out looking for a bartending job or a service industry job right now, might not be the best time to do that. You always want to be out there talking to people, getting your name and your face out there. And if you're in dire need and you're starving, you don't have a job and you need to do what you need to do, then get out there and do that. However, be careful, follow all the recommended health policies at the moment to stay safe and healthy. But know that if you don't need to do that, then this is probably not a real good time to be following up, just because they might look at you as like, do you not know what's going on, dude? We're like closing down. We don't need anybody right now. So just kind of have a little bit of acuity about reading the situations that you're going into, which is going to make it even more difficult than it usually already is. So I do apologize about that. But anyway, so if you have the ability to kind of put your job seeking for bar positions kind of on pause for a minute, then it might be a good time to do that. And I know this is not a good time for anything, really. So let's get into some questions. Brandon Dulaka, how are you dealing with COVID? So me personally, as I said, my main job now is marketing for a cannabis company up here in Oregon. And so I'm one of the lucky few that for the most part can do my job from home. So this week, kind of towards the end of last week, I started telecommuting, like basically just working from home. And so I'm just kind of on basically lockdown work from home situation. My wife, she's landscape architect designer. She talked her boss into the same situation. So we're just work at home family time right now. So I'm one of the lucky ones. However, we're starting to deal with constrictions of when we're allowed to be open, and we're having to start closing our stores and limit the number of employees that we have working. So that's a little bit worrisome, because if that keeps going, then who knows what that will mean. I won't go into worst case scenarios, but that's basically how I'm dealing with it now. I'm just kind of working from home. And the cool thing is it's gonna allow me to, obviously my downtime, get in here, finish this thing, and finally get those goddamn videos I've been promising for so long, those new videos out for you guys. Which, by the way, what do you guys think of this? Looking at it sort of on the camera here, there's some stuff I kind of want to fix a little bit, but all in all, like, huh? Nice little wood texture behind me. There's a little light back here. I don't know if you can see. I'm not quite sure about this yet. There's a little, see, there's a little kind of light. I'm going to turn it off. See if you can even tell. See, that was off. Now it's on. I don't know. I think I like it off. I'll leave it off for now. Chris Velasco, USBG Foundation grants up to $2,500 for bartenders and hospitality workers. I hope this helps anyone struggling. Okay, so let's look up what this is. What are we talking about here? Because This is good information, Chris Velasco. Let's see. BEAT, Bartender Emergency Assistance Program. So what is the USBG National Charity Foundation Social Responsibility Community Service Philanthropy? Let's see, if you're looking for information on eligibility requirements and the application for Bartender Emergency Assistance Program, click here. So this is on their website, usbgfoundation.org. So if you would like to donate to our COVID-19 relief program, go here. So there's, if you are, here, let's see what they ask for. Bartender Emergency Assistance Program. Please read through the selected criteria and eligibility requirements for the Bartender Emergency Assistance Program. This is awesome. And if you believe that you are eligible, please fill out the application, making sure to include the required supporting documents. You do not need to be a USBG member to apply for a philanthropic grant. If you need assistance or have any questions, contact, and there's an email. Due to high demand, obviously, you may experience problems or delays in submitting an application. Please bear with us and know that we are resolving the issue. Please try reapplying in a few hours or tomorrow if the issue persists. So I'll see if I can submit an application. I don't know, I don't want to submit one because I don't want to tie this thing up and I don't really need this right now. Eligibility requirements. Okay, so here's who's eligible for this. And this is what this looks like. This is just a national charity foundation that's focused on service industry people, specifically bartenders. In order to qualify for grant assistance from the Bartender Emergency Assistance Program, the recipient must satisfy all of the following requirements. Be a bartender or the spouse or child of a bartender. So if you're a bartender, or you're married to a bartender, or one of your parents is a bartender, then this is for you. Bartender Emergency Assistance Program defines a bartender, blah, blah, blah. Individual serving beverages, so on and so forth. Considered employed if for not less than 1 year. So prior to the application, the individual performs services as a bartender on a regular, full-time or part-time basis. If the catastrophic event or emergency hardship giving rise to the application prevents the individual from performing such services, so on and so forth. So like if your bar gets shut down, I don't know if this runs all the time. It kind of sounds like it. So like if you blow out your back, this is a good thing to know about. Like that's happened to me where I hurt my back and I couldn't work for a few weeks before. Would have been good to know about this. Experience a catastrophic event or emergency hardship that is identifiable and described and detailed in the application, damaging to the person or property, loss of life, health, property, sudden. Okay, I'll let you guys. I won't read this word for word, but so it sounds like you need to have been working for at least a year. So I know a lot of you guys are kind of newbies, so that might disqualify you for this. However, if you have been working for at least a year, and I would apply even if it hasn't been like ongoing at one location for a year. If you have work history that you can show through paycheck stubs or something going back at least a year, then I would definitely try to apply for this. So selection criteria, and it goes on to explain like how they select each of these grants. So that's pretty cool. usbgfoundation.org/BEAP. B as in bear, E as in extraterrestrial, A as in apple, P as in Paul. So Bartender Emergency Assistance Program. That's pretty cool. And you know, supposedly Chris claims this is up to $2,500. So if you can get that, and we get like a nice little check in the mail from the government, hopefully, you know, $500, $1,500 somewhere around in there, then hopefully that will help us through this situation. So thank you, Chris Velasco, for throwing that out there. Ivan says, Ivan Avilas, making the best of it that I can, trying new dance moves, reading, writing, looking for bar information, coming with ideas for the new job I started. I think it's a bar that can make it big. Nice. With the right ideas and energy. Stoked for you. DJ Johnson, it's DJ. My first bartending shift was on Super Bowl Sunday at Sports Bar in Wisconsin. Congratulations, DJ. So almost 2 months bartending, and now bars shutting down here. Yeah, that's tough. I mean, the good thing is because you've been working, if you get laid off, then you should be able to get unemployment. Is also another lifeline for you guys if you were working and have been laid off, or you get kind of shut down for a while. Colin says, Colin Powell, most of my friends work cook or bar, some are teachers, they're all out of work right now. Yeah, sucks. It's really sketchy stuff. U.S. Bartenders Guild. Oh, that's what USBG is. U.S. Bartenders Guild. Nice. Yeah, I didn't go into. So they also have like a COVID-19 relief and response page, grants. You can donate. You can volunteer. Yeah, so these guys. This is pretty cool. So good for these guys. Stoked they're doing that for y'all. Brandon wants to know, how's it been working as a bartender DJ? Let's see. Ivan. Let's see here. Yeah, puts us in. Ivan says it really puts us in perspective about savings, health, and thinking ahead, which is really hard to do, and is important to point out when people are talking about bartending and making money and all that kind of stuff. It's like, it's great because you're making money and you're always making cash, but the problem is when you have a wallet full of cash or a big wad of cash in your back pocket, is you feel like you have more money than you do, kind of. Right? Because you're like, oh shit, I got all this money, I can go out, I can go buy whatever, buy this thing or that thing. And it took me almost 10 years to learn self-discipline to start saving my money as a bartender. Like the first 7-8 years especially, like I'd, make 200, 300 bucks a night, and then I would go out and spend 150 of it going out that night. And then you wake up in the morning and you're like, fuck, I got rent next week. What the hell am I doing? So it's a good thing and a bad thing because you always have cash. But yeah, to Ivan's point, it's important to learn how to save that stuff. So put it away, stuff it in your pillowcase or under your mattress. Brandon says he really loves it. Worked with a great group of people. DJ said that. To Brandon, I really love it. Work with a great group of people, great customers. That's awesome. Yeah, thank you, Chris. So we got Christoph Riegler. Am I saying that right? Finished a bartending course. Went on a job interview. Trial work done. Bam. Coronavirus. Shaking my head. Yeah. And hang tight, you guys. Like, this will blow through. We will survive. We will get back to normal. So do what you can to limit your expenditures, to limit your exposure, and yeah, just set up a little home bar at home and practice at home if you can, if you got a lot of downtime. Don't just veg out in front of the boob tube. Try to make yourself productive if you can do. You always have time to read up or watch a bunch of my videos, get your practice on while you got all this downtime. Con says, Ivan was talking about cruise ships. Uncle started a cooking gig on a 30-day cruise that left right before all this shit went crazy. Oh, fuck. Hopefully he's okay, Colin. That's a little scary. Right on, DJ. Stoked for you, man. Chris, so back to the USBG, the U.S. Bartender Guild. USBG. Let me keep that. USBGfoundation.org. Let me keep saying that. Chris said, took a few tries to submit, but I got it through. So do you know if you got approved for that, Chris? I don't know if you said that down here yet. Keep us posted on that. if you can, over the next couple weeks, come back to the live streams and let us know how it goes. We appreciate that. These guys would appreciate that, especially in these times right now. It's good to know about this whole process. And as someone who's going through it, you have unique information that will be value to other people. Chris Modus, great, thanks, buddy. Duke and Daisy, one Duke. You know how to make any hand sanitizer shots or mixed drinks. Technically, most hard liquor will sanitize shit. Now, I don't want to fucking be pouring booze all over whatever the fuck. But yeah, most alcohol, like back in the old days, before they had antibiotics, the cowboy antibiotic or sanitizer was whiskey. They would, you know, or just liquor, vodka. If you had surgery back in Civil War times, they'd give you a stick to bite, a shot of whiskey to drink before you started, and then they would have whiskey to like pour in the cuts. That was like their sanitizer, which is really scary. But yeah, most alcohol will kill most things. But we should come up with a hand sanitizer shot. That would be pretty funny. So I'll leave that open to you guys. Send me an email, support@bartendingblueprint.com. If you have a recipe for a hand sanitizer shot. That would be a great one to come up with and make. Would be really fun. DJ says, who's just been starting bartending recently, I do it for fun. My coworkers are the ones I'm worried about because this job pays their bills. Tips are pretty epic, I must admit. Chris Velasco, if you are in need of the Corona cure, make it a Bud Light. I'm surprised like Bud Light and Corona, because I know Corona's been doing a little bit of stuff. I mean, I haven't been paying attention. I don't watch, or I don't watch mainstream TV, so I don't know very often anyway. I don't know if like Bud Light has been running any funny commercials back and forth, because I know that I had saw a press release that Corona did, that they sent to, I think it was the FDA or somebody, or FDA, yeah, I think it was the FDA, that they were, you know, just joking, but they're like, can we change the coronavirus to the Bud Light virus? Honestly though, this is one of those things where this is like priceless PR. There's no such thing as bad PR, and you're saying Corona on everybody's lips all day long. You could never buy that type of publicity. Even though it seems bad and it's a virus and all that kind of shit, it's still, Corona is gonna guarantee you see a spike in sales from all this stuff. So anyway, I like that. Chris Velasco, that's a good call. I'm Vilas, yep, cruise ships. When they make port, he's here in Puerto Rico. It's when I see the most movement. Anna, see, I'm gonna get this right. Briancesco? Is this the virtual bar? This is the latest bar. This is the, I think is the 5th iteration. Let me see, let me count. How many have I had? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. What the hell is playing on my music right now? 5, yeah, I think this is the 5th or 6th iteration of the Bartending Pro background. We're gonna skip that one. Son of a preacher man, much better. It's not hits from the bottom. This is the original. All right, where were we? Tyler Benson, wanting to go into bartending, realize horrible timing, 100%. It's okay, this will all go through and it'll be back to normal soon with what's going on, but wanted to see best way to get into the profession. Tyler, you're in a great place, my man. I got tons of videos on this channel. I recommend to start with the playlists. So go look at the playlist, go look at the getting started with no experience, the working bartender, bartending 101. Don't worry about the drink recipes right away, because there's an instance of when you start bartending, you'll kind of make a certain range of drinks, and those range of drinks will vary depending on what bar you work at. So if you spend a bunch of time learning a bunch of drinks, you could potentially go work at a bar and you may not make a lot or any of those. So it's good to kind of get the fundamentals and the understanding of sort of what it is to bartend, which is more a personal customer experience, customer service experience, and then just like rote memorization of how many drinks do you know. So dig into some of the playlists and watch for all that stuff. Don't worry about trying to memorize a ton of drink recipes. Once you start to get a grasp on what this is and what you want to do, if you start to watch, I have a couple playlists about how to get a bartending job with no experience, and there's a main 4-part series. If you look it up, how to get a bartending job with no experience playlist there, then it starts to talk about finding a location. So you kind of draw a big circle around where you live or where you want to try to find a job, and you'll start to go out and drop resumes and start to knock on doors, and you'll start to identify the types of places that you may or want to be working at. Then at that point you can kind of start to look at the types of drinks that those places have, and then focus your attention on those style of drinks that you're going to learn before you start working. So watch a bunch of stuff on here, my man. That'll give you a great idea about the whole job, right, Mr. Tyler Benson. And then also, the other thing, realize that most bartenders start with no experience, and that the easiest way to get started as a bartender is to start in other positions and then move your way up. So might have to be willing to take, I mean, you can always shoot to start as a bartender, but if you don't have any experience, sometimes that's really hard to get right out of the gate. And so if you're willing to start in other positions and then be promoted up. That's how I got started. That's how, 95, 97, 99, I would say, % of most bartenders get started. You start in other positions and then you prove your worth and you get promoted up. So if you're willing to do that, then you'll definitely, as soon as you get that first job in whatever position, even if it's a busboy, host, dishwasher, you'll eventually get an opportunity if you play your cards right, show that you're a valuable employee, and you will get a chance to move up eventually for sure. DJ Johnson, keep calling to practice, 100%, great advice. Ivan Avilas, so his uncle works for Carnival, Norwegian, Royal, held all their trips for 30 days. Oh no, held all their trips for 30 days, yeah. Not surprised. I would not get on a fucking cruise. And I know this is bad because some of you or some of your friends and some of your family work on cruise ships. Me personally, I wouldn't go anywhere near a cruise ship right now. Hell no. Anna Brian-Seska says, let's hurl drunk comments at you for tips. Deal. Bring them on, girl. No worries. Fire away. DJ Johnson literally setting up the bar at home to practice. How weird hearing you say to do that. Yes, sir. It's a great way to do it, DJ. Keep on it, my man. I don't know what is going on with this playlist. It's playing some weird ass shit. Huh. There you go, Deep Purple. Highway Star, that's a good one. So, boost your immune system with a vitamin C infusion, 100%. Yeah, good point, Chris, is that during all of this, you guys should just be doing regular stuff to keep your immune system strong. I think there's a few people that are finding out that they get, and then it gets kicked out, or they don't get it because they're just healthy, or who knows why. But anyway, pretend like you're about to get a cold all the time. Keep your vitamins, drink lots of water, just don't lick door handles everywhere you go, and I should be alright, hopefully. Takata, listening to Turkish music, good on ya. Yeah, I got a lot of random stuff on this playlist. I have no idea, brother. DJ Johnson, nearly sold out Coronas on Saturday. Had them for $30 and raffle tickets with every purchase. See? It's an opportunity right now. Corona capitalizing, smart. For the hand sanitizer, Ivan says just get a shot the vodka and Sambuca and drop it in a mug full of Corona. Chug away. Or dip your hand in there. That'll work, right? Whatever. Duke and Daisy Duke. Duke and Daisy 1. I'm just going to say Duke and Daisy. Is that right? Have you tried Depsum's Malot? I don't. My lord? I haven't. I don't even know how to say that shit. What is this? I have not. Gypsum's Malor. Gypsum's Malor. Not for the faint of heart. Chicago's local Besk Braven bitter, wormwood-based Swedish schnapps. Wow. I have not. That sounds quite impressive, though. Let's see. This stuff. It's a style of bitter. Wait, damn it. I hate when their thing goes too quick. Style of bitter, wormwood-based Swedish schnapps. Huh. First developed during medieval times for its supposed medicinal benefits. Aha! Traditionally associated with farms of Skåne, don't know how to say that, gonna fuck it up, in Sweden, where wormwood grows wild. In the early 1900s, it was the most ubiquitous drink in Sweden and accompanied the nearly 1 million Swedes who immigrated to the US during that period. One of those immigrants was a man named Skåne, named Carl Jepsen. Cool. Nope, haven't tried it. But if I see it, I will definitely give her a go. Appreciate that, Duke and Daisy. DJ Johnson, best advice I learned from Jason in his YouTube channel is don't try to memorize recipes. My man, that's what I'm talking about. And DJ, for those of you who just tuned in, he's just started working recently a few months ago. He's out there kicking ass. Although he's a little bit on a hiatus now because of the beer virus. God damn it. Chris Velasco, barback for a year before bartending, learned the proper foundation. Some people will say that. Like, I do know bars that will almost always refuse to hire a bartender straight in. And they will try to, if they can. Sometimes you can't always do that. But if they can and they have the time, they'll take a barback or some other employee that they like and they want to promote. They'll put them into a barback position because you learn the flow, the speed, the needs, and what you're running out of all the time, and therefore, like, what's the most common popular stuff for your bartenders before, as like a pre-training before they move them into the bartender position. So really the closest thing to being a bartender is a barback. So if you can't be a bartender, then you should definitely be aiming to be a barback. So that is a good call, Chris. Thank you for that. Veronica Valise, hello. Hopefully I said that right. DJ Johnson, understanding what typically goes into a drink is a good idea, but at my bar they have their versions of classics and specialty drinks. Glad I found Jason. 100%. That's a great point to make, and that's another reason why when people freak out and they'll get mad at me or get whatever. I've seen arguments back and forth between people. It's like, that's not the right recipe, this is the right recipe, and it's like it doesn't really matter anyway, because most of this shit was invented so long ago that it's probably not the original recipe anyway. And even if it is and it's been tweaked a little bit, who cares? If it tastes delicious and the customer likes it, that is the only thing that matters. So I've seen people that have come in and I worked at a kind of a crafty place for a little while, and had bartenders come in that kind of turned their nose up to this drink that maybe had a classic traditional cocktail name, but it was like tweaked a little bit. And they're like, oh, this isn't the right blah, blah, blah. You don't put this or you don't make it like that. It's like, fucking who cares, man? It tastes delicious. The people like it. They buy lots of them and they tip us. Who gives a fuck? So don't get your panties in a wad about the cocktail recipes if they're a little bit different than the way you learned it, versus, or even between one location to the next. Like if you work at this bar and then you leave and you go to another bar and they have the same cocktail on the recipes, if it's a little different, don't go on some tirade rampage yelling at your manager about how the recipe's wrong and you need to make it like so-and-so. It just doesn't matter, and it's not worth the hassle. You gotta be flexible with it, because really the only thing that matters is that if the customer likes it. So, and if you do have it on your recipe, like a certain recipe on your menu a certain way, and a customer comes in and they say, hey, I like that, but can you do it like this? Then you don't also want to lecture them about that's not the right recipe. They're the customer, they're buying the drink, whatever recipe they want, that is the right recipe at that time. So, okay, I think we said enough about that. Veronica Blease, awesome. Thank you, girl. You're awesome too. Amber, hey, what up? Chris Velasco, Imbibe is a great book for cocktail foundations and fundamentals. That is a good one. I actually want to get that and kind of thumb through that a little bit and take some stuff out of that for my next iteration and evolution of this channel. They have a lot of good stuff in there. So I do agree with Chris. Good call. Drew Sama, my bar is closed for like 2 weeks at least. So Drew, we were talking about earlier, you might have missed, there is a U.S. Bartender Guilds, U.S. Bartender Guild. You can go to their website, usbgfoundation.org. Here, here's what I'm gonna do. Actually, let me grab the. Here we go. They're doing grants for bartenders. So if you've worked up to a year as a bartender, I don't think it necessarily has to be at the same place, but if you have at least a year of experience as a bartender, you can apply for a grant. And one of our other guys that was on here earlier, Chris, yeah, I think it was Chris that pointed that out, said that you can get up to $2,500, and they're doing that right now to help people when, and it's exactly those types of situations that are getting laid off or not working for a few weeks because of that. So let me see, I'm going to grab this link for you guys. Eligibility, here, let me just grab this page, and then you guys can go here. So check this out there. Okay. Might take a second. So there you go. usbgfoundation.org/BEAP, B-E-A-P. And that's just a cool charity that is designed to help bartenders out there in the world. Okay. Then, whoop. Okay, then, all right, where were we? Okay, so, Drew, my point was, check out that link, wherever I put that, wherever I am on the page. If you've worked for at least a year, then definitely go apply. Also, take care if you're in the United States. Our government is working on a fiscal stimulus package that will hopefully send checks straight to our mailboxes in the next couple of weeks. Fingers crossed on all of that. Hang tight, we'll make it through. Takata, can you recommend books about mixology or cocktails? The one just mentioned right above you, Takata, by Chris Velasco, that Imbibe is a good one. And then just kind of go look on Amazon and the ones that have good reviews, read the reviews. But really, the best thing to do is to work on your people skills, you guys. Again, the books are great. You should go have them in your library and read through them and take what information you can out of them. The problem is that book learning isn't going to necessarily make you a good bartender. What makes you a good bartender is your people skills. Your ability to have a comfortable, confident, easy-flowing conversation with anybody that sits down in front of you, which is my opinion, the real sort of anxiety that you feel when you're a new bartender. It's not that you don't know drinks. It's that kind of public speaking thing. You know, when you get nervous, when you have to talk in front of people. When you're not used to that, and when you're new to bartending, it's that same anxiety. So most people think, and I think that bartending schools have grabbed onto this and said it's because you don't know drinks, you need to know a bunch of drink recipes and then you'll be fine, which is fucking bullshit, because even if you know a bunch of drinks, it'll help a little bit, but there's still just that human element interaction that until you get used to it, you're not going to be really comfortable with it. So I would recommend, instead of buying books and go to bartending schools, you guys take a public speaking course. Join a Toastmasters in your area and go just work on talking. It doesn't matter what the fuck you talk about. You can talk about bartending if you want. It's just getting used to talking in front of people, because that is what will help you be more comfortable when you get into the bar. I'm going to have a series of videos kind of about this coming up down the road, but one of the things I'm going to recommend for people that are trying to get into bartending that aren't quite there yet and they want to work on that part of it is to go drive Uber or Lyft. Right now in the current COVID-19 environment, might not be the best time to jump into that yet, because I know a lot of those people are struggling as well. However, once this kind of settles out and you get back to, the world gets back to a semi-normal routine, then those jobs are great because you're interacting with just kind of random people. And so start driving Uber, start driving Lyft, make some money, work on your people skills, just try to have basic conversations with people. And what you'll learn is that it's basically just about asking them questions. Hey, how you doing? How's your day? Where are you going? Where do you work? No way. How many kids do you have? What are they into? And you'll also learn the acuity to not push people when they don't want to talk. Because some people, sometimes they just don't want to talk. And this is true in the bar too. And you got to learn how to read people when they do want to be talkative, and you learn how to let them carry the conversation, basically by just asking them questions about themselves, which is in turn going to enamor them to you, because we are hardwired when we talk about ourselves. It makes us happy. So they're going to like you more and going to want to come back, and they're going to feel like you're their friend. But it's also going to be good for you just practice-wise, because then when you get into the bar, you're like, I can do this. I've done this a million times. So before you dive in, go get the books, practice read, know as much as you can. But remember, this is about the people skills. This is not about the rote memorization, how many drinks you have memorized. It's not what this is about. One of the best bartenders I know can talk to anybody, can make anybody laugh, has the best following of locals, and his bar when he's working is always full. Guy's one of the worst motherfuckers I know when it comes to drink memorization or any of that shit. He fucking sucks at all that stuff. But he's a good bartender because he's got the people skill part dialed. Like, the guy's like a stand-up comedy guy. I mean, not really, but the dude's just naturally outgoing and just has this kind of fun energy about him. And he's able to talk to people in a friendly way, and people come to that. So keep that in mind next time you're banging your head against the wall trying to memorize a bunch of shit. It's like, don't waste your time, man. Okay, sorry, got on a long-winded answer there, but that's good for you guys to hear all that kind of stuff. Takata, can you set WhatsApp group for bartender for us? I am not on WhatsApp. I've had a bit of issues in the past with them causing security problems for me, so I will not be doing that. However, I'm going to work on trying to get a type of chat board type of situation for the bartendingblueprint.com website. That needs a serious facelift as well. Not a facelift, but I just need to kind of update a couple things on that site. And that's one of the things. So I'm going to try to have sort of a forum on that website for those purposes, that you guys can go there and kind of ask questions and chat with each other about all this kind of stuff. So good idea. Look for it soon on the Bartending Blueprint website. Chris Velasco, this is the first live YouTube I've ever watched. Love it. Sweet, glad to keep you in the house, Chris. Stoked you guys are hanging out. Let's see, Veronica Valise. Yes, you did. Hoping you got your name right. Man, I'm way behind these comments. Hang tight, I'll get to them all, you guys. Brandon Dulaka. What's the difference between a barback and a bartending apprentice? As far as I know, the only place I've heard a bartending apprentice used is in Europe. So I don't really know. I would assume bartending apprentice means that you're in training to be a bartender. So you're a junior bartender of sorts. So it's probably kind of similar to a barback position. which what a barback does is basically they stock and support. So they stock everything in the bar that a bartender needs during the shift. So you usually don't have them except for at places that are super busy. And you get the ice, you make sure the liquor is stocked, the beer is stocked, the glasses are clean and are in the right places. And you wipe down the bar and clear, if they have food that is served there, you know, clear plates and clear drinks. You walk around and make sure everything's clean and tidy. And you basically support the bartenders so that all they have to do is do their job. Meaning they can just focus on the customers, they can just focus on the flow of business and keeping that going, so that you all make more money together. And some places you may actually bartend and make drinks, like our barbacks at my last place that I worked at for a long time, where I was a bar manager as well. Our barbacks would also make drinks when it was busy. Not at first, but we would ease them into it, and eventually they would start making drinks, and then, you know, they're half a step away from becoming a bartender. And when positions came open, most places want to promote from within because that's just good business. The barbacks are always first on the list, or definitely on the short list of people who could potentially get that position. So a barback is someone that supports and helps the bartenders do all their stuff, basically keeping everything stocked while you're working. Bartending apprentice, not quite sure. Maybe halfway, somewhere in between that. That's a new bartender that's not quite. Could be also just like a new bartender that's in training. So it's like your first couple of weeks while you're training, you're a bartender apprentice. I don't know. So it's not an official designation of any of the places that I've ever worked during my career. And again, have heard it more commonly said, I believe, in Europe. So couldn't tell you on that one. Barback makes sure the bartender never have to leave the well. Second, the bartender leaves the well to the well. It's second drink stop made, and then the second money. That flows weird. Basically, the bar, yeah, same thing. Barback supports the bartenders, so they don't ever have to leave their drink making station, or if they're out on the bar, whatever. Just they can continue to take care of people. DJ Johnson, new bartender. One of the best things I learned to do is to tell your customers you are new. I have found people are understanding, have fun with it, and give you great tips. This is 100% true. So if you're a new guy, don't be afraid to tell people that, especially if you're kind of fumbling in a little bit, you're nervous, or maybe you mess something up, which is totally fine and cool. It's like, sorry, this is my first week, or I'm the new guy, or like, I just started bartending, so I'm still figuring this out. Bear with me. I promise we'll get it figured out, right? And like DJ says, most people are pretty cool with it. So, okay, right. DJ Johnson, act and move confidently, or at least fake it till you make it. 100%. And I have a couple of videos. One of my very, very first videos that has terrible audio and video quality, so I do apologize, but the how to stay calm on a busy Friday, Saturday night, if you look that up, it kind of alludes to what DJ is talking about, the fake it till you make it thing. It just gives you a couple little tricks about how to deal with a busy bar, some facial and body language things to be aware of that can affect your mood and your customer's mood. So go watch that video if you have not. Christoph Riegler was wondering why you were standing while streaming, but then I remembered you probably get used to that as a bartender. That's just how I build my bars for these studios, or this is how I build my bar studios for these videos. It's just, yeah, exactly. It's more natural to stand up. I actually, at the last bar that I had built, had kind of lowered everything and started sitting on a stool. So I may do that again, because I have the ability to do that with this situation. So we shall see. But as of right now, just standing, because it's not quite done yet. But I wanted to get in here and do this live stream tonight for you guys to take a little look of what is coming soon. Chris Velasco, good drink can help make a good time. A memorable experience makes it sublime. Ooh, I like that. Know the product you're selling. I'm gonna steal that one, Chris. I'm gonna screenshot that one because that is a great little quote. Good drink can make a good time, but a memorable experience can make it sublime. AKA, you don't want to make shit drinks, right? Because nobody wants a terrible drink. But the experience of the environment and the service will far and above always make or break the whole thing. And that's why I always come back to this is a people skill. This is a customer interaction, customer service, right? That's what this is all about. Okay, what do we got here? DJ, I was hired on personality and just acclimated myself to how my bar likes their bartenders. I'm clay and they're molding me, which is fantastic. And a lot of bars, they will actually have a problem with bartenders if they have too much experience. Like my last owner that I worked for, he would be apprehensive of bartenders if they had over 5 or 6 years of experience because they would be kind of set in their ways from wherever they came from. And if, you know, that's what you go through the whole interview process, and hopefully you kind of flesh that out, and hopefully you learn how to fit it, and or hopefully you find someone that fits to the personality type that you're looking for. But if you're able to take somebody that doesn't have as much experience, then you can just kind of mold them to the way you like to do it. And if you're brand new, kind of like what DJ was saying, then you're totally a lump of clay for them to mold how they like it. That's how I got started. I just got thrown into the deep end, and you figure it out, and they kind of make you in their way that they like. So good point there, DJ. Thank you. Brandon Dulaka, yeah, I saw a bartending apprentice on some Vegas job posting. Huh, interesting. So there you go. You guys are out there in the scene a little bit more than I am now. Mark, I'm gonna give a last call real quick for questions, and then we're gonna cut it off. So make sure you guys follow on all the social media stuff at Bartending Pro, mostly YouTube and Instagram. I have a Facebook and Twitter account, but I don't really use them. Working on setting up a Twitch profile. Shake was working on that for me. And so hopefully that'll be coming down the pipe soon as well. Just another option to be able to stream this stuff for you guys. And then obviously, like I said, new bar almost done. New videos coming shortly, especially as I'm here just kind of locked down working from home for the next while. All right. DJ Johnson was essentially a bartender in training. Now I'm a fully fledged bartender, still learning daily. Of course, you'll learn daily forever. You'll become competent very quickly, but you'll learn forever. I don't think you'll ever stop learning, really, because just different experiences, different people, different personalities, that's stuff that you will always build on. Open the bar now. It's been an accelerated experience. Love it. Right on. All right, cool, you guys. We're going to cut it off there. Thank you all for coming in. This has been another live edition of Making You Bartending Pro. My name is Jason. My man Shake helping moderate. Thank you very much, Shake, taking care of the social media and stuff too. Send me an email if you have any questions, comments, concerns, input, something you would like to see me make a video about soon, because I'm going to start pumping out some more traditional videos again very soon. As you can see, this thing's almost ready to go. Best email, support@bartendingblueprint.com, and we'll get rolling from there. All right, you guys, thank you again. Kick some ass out there. Stay safe. Listen to the news. Even if you think this is overblown, like I said, I have some friends that have gotten very sick, and they are very young, healthy people, and this thing kicked their ass. So don't get it. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll get through this all soon. We'll be back out there slanging booze, kicking ass before you know it. All right, you guys, take care. We'll see you again soon. Cheers.